Hey, how's it going, guys? It's Scarecrow and welcome back to another episode of Black Ops 3 In Depth. Today we're going to be looking at the AK-74u. I know you guys have been requesting this one for a little while and finally going to deliver it for you guys. So, 74u, classic of a weapon, been in a few Call of Duties, most notably I'd say probably COD 4 and Black Ops 1 being the most famous iterations and the ones that probably stick in people's minds. I really like the COD 4 one. I think that's probably my favorite out of all of them. I have some good memories of running around in COD 4 with this weapon. But anyway, as for the weapon itself, it was added into supply drops on May 23rd, 2017. It's actually more recent than I expected. I thought this gun actually came out last year, but it seems my memory is failing me because, yeah, it was released alongside the M1911 pistol, which wasn't actually that long ago. I was actually lucky enough to get this weapon from my supply drops. They came with one of the recent bribes, which I was really happy with. I'd been wanting this weapon for a long time now. It's such a classic signature weapon that I just wanted to have it in my armory, and I'm really happy that I got it. And I can't say that it actually lived up to my expectations. As for the stats of the weapon, let's get down to those. So, the damage of the weapon, the AK-74u will deal 35 damage, dropping down to 29 damage, dropping down to 23 damage, and then down to 19 damage, meaning that it is a 3 to 6 shot kill. It has a slightly longer damage profile with 4 unique damages, and it does start out at quite a decent damage, but the ranges itself are a little bit weak, starting at the 3 shot kill range for 10 meters, the 4 shot kill range of 16 meters, and the 5 shot kill range of 21 meters. So I can see why people tend to think this weapon is weak, because it does drop off quite quickly and the range on it is not that far. But keep in mind, this is an SMG and it does play well on a lot of the Black Ops 3 maps, considering they are close quarters and stuff. So keep in mind that although these ranges seem quite small, that they're not actually as bad as they seem. So keep an open mind when using this weapon and don't immediately dismiss it because of its shorter range. It has a magazine capacity of 30 rounds, which is bumped up to 42 with extended mags, so nothing out of the ordinary there, and it has a headshot multiplier of 1.1x, which is completely useless at all ranges. It has a slow but dependable fire rate of 652 rounds per minute. It's no Vesper, certainly, but it does get the job done. I never really had too much trouble with the fire rate, and it is bumped up to 697 rounds with rapid fire. The reload speed is where it stands out a bit at 3.25 seconds for a full reload, which is the slowest out of all of the SMGs in the game, and it is pretty crushing and punishing to reload this weapon without fast mags. So I'm going to end up recommending fast mags later on, but it can be a bit of a grind to unlock fast mags or extended mags for this weapon. So your first experience with the weapon may not be as positive as you would like just because of the reload speed. It has a sprint out time of 0.3 seconds, which is pretty average, and an ADS time of 0.25 seconds, which is also pretty average. The recoil on the 74u is actually quite low, and it does not need a grip. I never had any troubles with the recoil. It's very controllable. It doesn't bounce or wobble over the place. It's pretty much always vertical recoil, and there's not a lot of it. I found myself being able to keep on target and track enemies with the iron sights, which are also really good, the signature 74 iron sights that they didn't mess up or find a way to screw up, which I'm really happy with, and they work really well with the recoil. I never had any trouble engaging people at longer ranges. Even if my time to kill wasn't quite up there, at least I was hitting my shots at those ranges. The silencer on the weapon is not recommended. Like I mentioned before, the range on the 74u isn't that amazing, and when you put a silencer on there, it really does squash that range, so I'm not going to recommend a silencer at all unless you're really desperate and you want that nostalgia kick and you're playing on a smaller map, like I'm talking Combine small here. Fast mags are a necessity. I'm just going to reiterate that. If you think you can get away without fast mags, you're eluding yourself. This is an SMG, and with the SMGs in Black Ops 3, you want to be up in people's faces, you want to be aggressively rushing their spawn and being very mobile, and it's nearly impossible to do that with the reload speed of this weapon. So fast mags is definitely a necessity that I'm going to recommend on all of your classes. The classes that I'm going to recommend for the weapon, I have 2 picked out here. I found that stock is actually very useful on this weapon. It was nice being able to strafe around enemies and being able to keep up with a lot of the faster moving enemies. I don't use stock on a lot of SMGs. I know it's a very useful attachment, but I just never really found a gun that really clicks with. But on this gun, it really does work. I really did enjoy stock on the 74u. So the first class I'm going to recommend has stock, fast mags, of course, like I mentioned before, and extended mags too, because it's also nice to have a bit more bullets in your magazine to mow down a few more enemies. I found this to be the most dependable class. You don't really need quick draw. Like, it's nice to have quick draw, but then again, this is an SMG. But as for the second class, if you would like quick draw, I found that quick draw, stock, and fast mags works quite well. As for what I think about the weapon, I think this is a very, very fun nostalgia weapon. It's just a fun weapon and a fun SMG in general. Yes, it doesn't compete with a lot of the statistically better weapons, but I'd still take it over those statistically better weapons just because I have more fun using it. The sound of the gun, the reload animation of the gun, just the overall aesthetic and stuff is all really well done, and I'd take that over the clinical XMC or the HLX any day. I just like this gun, has flair, it has character, and it actually works quite well. I feel like people overlook this SMG because they don't like the ranges of it and they hear that it gets hit markers. Yes, it does get hit markers, but you know what? If you've got a consistent aim and a damn good shot, then this weapon is really, really fun and satisfying to use. So I'm going to say don't overlook the 74u just because of some of its weaker range attributes. It's definitely a very fun SMG that you'll have a lot of fun using. Anyway guys, that is going to wrap it up for this episode of In Depth, and probably the last episode of In Depth that I will be doing. There is a few weapons left in the game I haven't covered, like the China Lake, but I don't really think that is necessary. Those weapons don't really require an in-depth, and there's no way to really go in-depth on them, so I'm not going to end up doing those. This will probably be the last episode of In-Depth, unless Treyarch releases a new weapon for Black Ops 3. This is going to be the end of this series, which I've had a really, really fun time making. I want to thank you guys for all of your support over this entire series. It's just been amazing to see all the new subscribers that have come in, and all the awesome comments on the videos over the entire course of me making it. It has been a challenging series to make. It has been an interesting series to make. I've had a lot of fun doing it. It has challenged me in a few ways that I didn't actually expect coming into it, and it makes me appreciate all the work that Drifter has put into the original series over the years. This series is not as easy as it seems. It's simply not just reading stats off of a page. It's a lot more than that. And it also gives me an appreciation for the people that go into the code to get the stats. Marvel 4, his dedication to the Call of Duty community has just been awesome over the years, and him and Drifter have been a powerful combination that have led to some awesome videos and some awesome content. And I just wanted to say that if Drifter ever does see this, I just want to thank you, man, for all your content and in-depths over the years. It's just been awesome to watch them. I always enjoy them, always look forward to them every single year, and it has been a pleasure to do this series with your approval. Anyway guys, that is going to wrap it up for this video. So if you have enjoyed, thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more, and I shall see you, beautiful people, in the next video.